Good day to you. I was just getting some supplies. We have an unfinished section of the wall, and this section is unfinished because I'm going to be pulling some data cable. Actually, several cables. So I got to get back up in the attic. We're going to pull two Ethernet network cables here to this port, which hasn't been installed yet. And this port right here, we're going to pull security camera cables. We have a security camera system hardwired that we put up several years ago, and I don't like the location of the DVR. So we're going to move that. This is going to be an outlet to power the DVR. We're going to have data cables, video cables coming in from the DVR, and then we're going to have two Ethernet network connections coming in here. One of those network connections is going to go to the TV and or a computer, and the other network connection is going to go to the DVR itself. What we need to do, if you notice, this is an interior wall, but we have insulation here. This is a spun wool insulation, and it's made for specifically for sound dampening. We put up this wall to create another bedroom / office. Like I said, we have 5 kids. So this insulation is really nice. It's very easy to cut. I will show you guys how to cut this. You're not going to cut this with a razor blade. It takes chunks out and you don't get a very good slice through the insulation material. The best way to do this is to get a serrated bread knife. And
that we have
cut
a basic
this with
idea.
a bread knife. If you have an electric carving knife, that'll work as well. And if you had a lot of this to do, that may be the way to go. But a regular bread knife, serrated bread knife, 10 to 12 inches long, is perfect for this kind of work. And I can show you how to do that here in a minute. So let's just go ahead and remove this section. We do have electrical cable. This is the 12 gauge wire. The whole house was wired in 12 gauge instead of 14 gauge, which was a surprise to me. So there's 12 gauge wire in here, and then 14 gauge wire to go to outlets along this wall. There's an outlet on either side of this wall, and I pulled 14 gauge from here over to there. My dad's a certified electrician, no problem with that. So we're going to drill holes in the 2x4 stud at the top. We're going to cut a 2x4, put this out, cut if you want to mark it, a piece of sheetrock or a piece of wool,
got a little wider
soundproofing material
because of this awkward angle that I'm cutting this at.
And we're going to go from there. I'm back with my 2x4. Let's get this set in place. Alright, I forgot to tell you guys, in the time that I've been gone, I was able to buy some new microphones, so the audio should be much improved. I'm using the Rode Go 2, I think, right now, and I also got a Rode lapel mic. So you should see an improvement in the audio. So that's exciting. There we go. Now in hindsight, I realize maybe I should have drilled those holes with the hole saw first, my spade bit, and drilled the holes for the communication cables to come through the attic before I did this. So we might take that back down and do this in reverse order. That's the way it goes, guys. Trying to do multiple things at once. All right. So you know the old adage, measure twice, cut once. Well, think out your project twice, then cut once. We're of a divided mind right now, so let's go get the hole saw and get some holes drilled. And with the magic of a cut, I'm back. All right, guys, this is going to get loud. I'm going to use the shop vac to try to keep some of the dust down. So here in a second, we'll probably cue to some music. Definitely easier without the 2x4 in place. Try to throw in a picture of what it looks like. Let's get this back in here. Should go right back in. Yep. Went right back in, just as I suspected. All right. So for this insulation, we're going to have to do a couple cuts. I brought with me the Cuisinart stainless steel bread knife. Let's get this cut real quick. Very firm, very dense. We didn't really need it for insulation. We got it mostly for sound deadening properties, which is what it was advertised at. You just want this, you don't want this tight. You want this to be a friction fit just so it doesn't fall out. All right. So this is where it was. We're just going to take our knife and we're just going to start sawing. Okay? And now that we have a basic idea, of where that's going to be, just going to hold firm and it cuts through there like cheese or butter. Very easy. Probably helps if you do this on a solid surface. All right. So now it's a nice friction fit. We're not squeezing it or compressing it. We just don't want it to fall out of there. There you go. First one done. Now we need to take the second one. I'm just going to pull that corner off. We need to cut about an inch, inch and a half off because that's the size of the. So we're just going to eyeball it. And look at that, guys. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. I'm going to take that. And it is smooth as butter. There we go. And then I had this piece cut for that section. Again, we'll just have to cut that in half lengthwise to get that to fit back in there. I guess we can do that real quick. Let's do it from this side. All right. Woo. All right. Don't cut your wires. Just going to mark that there. And then just like that. Now I'm just visualizing it. I'm keeping this section about the same width. Like I said, this isn't a critical
critical measurement if you want to mark it. Oh, look, we got a little wider at the end there. It's because of this awkward angle that I'm cutting this at. If you were doing this on the floor, that wouldn't have happened. That's okay. Not a big deal. That's probably a little more snug than I would have liked, but that's okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for following along with this week's project. We'll try to get videos out more often, and I hope you're impressed with the new audio. If you learned something, that's great. If you were entertained, that's great as well. Please like and subscribe, and we'll try to get videos out to you more often. If you didn't like it, or you had something to say, go ahead and leave it in a comment, and we'll try to get back to you. On this Memorial Day weekend, I hope you take a minute out of your time to remember the veterans who have fought and died for our freedoms here in the United States. I hope you get to spend time with your family, and I hope that you get all the projects done that you're trying to do without having to go to the parts store 15 times, drive 200 miles out of your way, or wait for something to be ordered by mail. We'll have more videos soon. We'll talk to you later.